Hello everyone, welcome back to Socialized. This is technically season 3 of this show. That's around the time that most shows either know when they're going to end and figure out how they're going to do it, or realize that the concept means that they could exist forever, and thus spiral into insignificance and retreaded plot points that feature characters doing random things for absurd reasons. Whatever picture is next to my head right now, I'm sure it airs on CBS. That or it's probably Dexter. But we've always known when this show ends. And it's essentially predicated on the same ridiculous plot points bringing themselves up in our state legislature over and over and over again. We are tailor-made for a run at the NCIS title. Alas, this is the second to last season. So I figured we'd highlight some good things that happened while we were gone before we spiral out of control. So let's see what we got. Voter turnout was up in Knoxville City Council primary elections this year by 75%. P.S. The general election there is happening in November, so you've still got time to get in on this. Check out govoteknoxville.com for more info. We've also got, oh yes, Knoxville kicking out white supremacists a couple weeks ago. More like Confederate none, am I right? Moving on, my fantasy draft went well. Okay, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Things are pretty bad. We've somehow largely stayed away from Trump bashing on this show, but the trickle-down bullcrap is just too much to handle. We've had to deal with a cardiac healthcare bombing run, a literal bombing run on Syria, and some more, much scarier bombs in North Korea. There was also the figurative bomb that dropped prematurely on Sunday. Trump is ending DACA. Some of you might be asking what DACA is. Well, it is a national program with tons of local importance. DACA was a program started by the Obama administration, and its acronym is not some fancy competitive running league, but instead stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. What it does in practice is prevent undocumented immigrants who arrived in this country as children from being deported. There are around 800,000 people protected under DACA right now. An overwhelming majority of them have jobs, none have criminal records, and most have absolutely no memory of the country that they are from. Ending DACA would allow them to be deported, even though, again, many do not even remember the country they would be sent to. Some might not even speak the language. It's sort of like if a bunch of Floridian National Guardsmen burst into this studio right now and demanded to take me back home to a city that I do not remember and who I certainly do not enjoy watching on television every Sunday. Except it's really not like that, because at least that's America, and at least I speak the language, and at least I could still see my family or kids if I had them. Those who are protected by DACA would have none of those rights. Many of them have families of their own right now. Wives, husbands, sons, and daughters that would lose them. All because Trump can't stand the idea that a black president had a better idea than him. But there is some hopeful news out there. Trump, upon announcing that he would end the program, left a 6-month waiting period for Congress to reauthorize it with a bill. To summarize, DACA is not a bill. It was an executive action taken by the Obama administration. It was never actually passed. And this has led to it being challenged by multiple, very red, state governments in court as an example of federal overreach, and the rationale that the Trump administration has provided is that Donald really cares, but he thinks it's illegal too. Yes, noted constitutional scholar and legal hawk Donald John Trump really wishes he could help. But you can help. You can call your congressmen and senators and tell them to vote yes on a bill that would pass DACA into law. You can share the stories of people you may know who are on DACA, because those are truly powerful. Just last week, Herbert Slattery III, who is somehow the Tennessee Attorney General and not a Defense Against the Dark Arts professor, announced that as a result of meeting with some of those protected by DACA and hearing their stories, he would not be bringing Tennessee into a multi-state lawsuit against the federal government over DACA. These stories have power, and if they can affect things in Tennessee, then I promise you, the whole country is no big deal. Thanks for watching.